What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We are back for episode number 22 of our Formula 1 24 driver career mode. We're getting set here for the Japanese Grand Prix. Now, if you guys haven't seen the season opener, be sure to go and watch that one. We made a big move to McLaren and ended up taking the win in the first race of the season. Now, it was actually quite the battle between myself, Norris, and Leclerc. We were all within a second of each other for the entire duration of the race. So just a constant back and forth of retaking the lead, losing out on the lead. We end up undercutting Lando Norris. So I won't spoil too much more, but be sure to hit the link up top. Go watch that before watching this one. We're just getting everything set with the specialist, setting the goals so that we can get those manufacturing boosts for our upgrades. And I think we have a few upgrades coming in for the Japanese Grand Prix, but we will be getting a new upgrade here that won't be ready until a Grand Prix later in the season, which is Miami. So up to the next race, we're gonna get the rear floor under tray, and we're currently sitting at the top of the development charts. We got Scuderia Ferrari right behind us, and Mercedes neck and neck with the Ferrari. Now, in the last race, Charles Leclerc was keeping up with us that entire race, and we have a pretty big gap over him in terms of development, so it is a little bit scary to see him being able to keep pace up with Lando Norris and I. And we'll see what we could do here in the Japanese Grand Prix as we head into qualifying. Now, I apologize for the kind of glitchy qualifying footage here. Once again, ran into some technical difficulties, and I had to go back and kind of archive the footage. But in Q1, we're not too great at the moment. Our first lap is not good enough as it puts us all the way down at P20. So we're going to have to improve quite a bit here. We put a new set of soft tires on. And by the time we cross the line, we actually just shoot ourselves all the way up to the top, just behind Lando Norris, 1/10 of a second behind. And then once again, like I said, Charles Leclerc right there with us. So it's looking like a three-way battle for the championship at the moment. It's only two races in, or one race in technically. This is the second race, so we'll have to see what happens at the end of this one to really get a feel of who is going to be fighting with us. Verstappen could step in there. I think Hamilton as well had a pretty decent race in Australia, so we'll see. But into Q2 now, we put up a better first lap this time. We're up in P8. I don't think everyone has gone out yet. Verstappen currently leading the session with a 1:27.4. We put up a 1:28.1 on our first flyer, so not great, but we got a purple sector 1 here in the second flyer, and then the green sector 2. We're up almost 7/10 of a second, heading down to the chicane. We've now dropped down to P10, so just at the cutoff range. I think we should be able to improve drastically here with a few tenths of a second improvement. I'm not sure if it'll be right at the top, but we crossed the line with a 1:28.1, I think it said there, and we come in third, so we're going to get into Q3. But something to note here, we look at the results, and there's a three-way tie for P1. I said 20.1, but it's a 27.411 between myself, Verstappen, and Lando Norris. Now, I only took third because I was the last one to do the lap, and Lando Norris was the first one, so he is going to lead the session after Q2 with that 1:27.4, but it doesn't matter too much because we got into Q3, and that's all that really matters. But going into Q3 is where our time is going to matter most here, and we have been gradually improving our first lap in the qualifying sessions in this race. In Q1, we were down P20. After our first lap in Q2, we're in P8, and now after our first lap in Q3, we find ourselves in P4. So if we can get a pretty decent improvement here, we could potentially be on pole position. We got Leclerc, Verstappen in front of us, and Lando Norris, who tops out the session with a 1:26.5, which I think is almost a second faster than us. And I'm not sure if we're going to be able to beat that, but we got a good start here. We got a purple sector 1. We're going to have to gain a lot of time through the hairpin, through the spoon curve, and obviously at the final chicane, which is where I seem to struggle most. I get pretty poor exits out of there, and then obviously that affects your run all the way down the straight, but we're still looking good here. 1:27.5, sitting in P4. It doesn't seem like anyone is improving. I think everyone has gone out for their lap already, so I think the grid is set. It's just up to us to see if we can nudge Verstappen, Leclerc, possibly Lando Norris down a spot. Start on pole position, and now at the end of sector 2 here, we're going to green it, so we lose a little bit of time down the straight. Not the greatest exit through the spoon curve. And then through the final chicane here, let's see, are we going to gain time? We gain time into the entrance, we gain time out of the exit. Actually, no, we actually lost a little bit of time net-wise. Just a marginal improvement. We crossed the line, 2/10 up on that previous lap, and it's not even going to be good to move up one spot. We stay in P4, and that is where we are going to be starting for this Grand Prix. Japan, very hard to overtake. We're 4/10 back of Lando Norris, which isn't great. If that is his lap pace over me, it's not going to be a good race for us, but hopefully we can improve our pace in the Grand Prix, maybe get a spot or two at the start. Japan very hard to overtake on, so we might be following someone in dirty air, but we'll see what we can do here in the Grand Prix. Let's get right into it.
Everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tires and brakes up to temperature.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're here for the Japanese Grand Prix after a very tight qualifying. Unfortunately, we lose out by 4/10 of a second to Lando's pole position. He put up a monster lap there, sets himself at the front in Suzuka, and also a super entertaining Q2 where Verstappen, Norris, and myself literally finished with the exact same time. We did get awarded P3 because we were the last one to put up the lap, but it doesn't really matter because Q3 is what really counts. And yeah, we find ourselves in P4, so not the greatest spot. Suzuka, not notorious for overtaking, of course. And I think I'm going to struggle with the tires here, especially through Sector 1, because if you want to be quick, you really got to push the car, but that really wears out the rears. So got to keep an eye on, I think, the rear left especially is going to be affected most. Rear tires in general for sure. If we want to get any moves done, if we want a chance at the podium, I think it's going to have to be within the first lap. We're going to have to go for it on Verstappen, and hopefully we'll have the pace to keep up with Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc. I was really giving my all in qualifying, and we were nowhere near the front, but we did start in P4 last race, so there is a chance that we could get to the podium, maybe even potentially win. We'll have to see. No safety cars have come out yet this season, as I almost clipped Verstappen there. No red flags either. So we'll see here. Turn 1 at Suzuka, usually a bit of a disaster, as we saw this year in real life at the Japanese Grand Prix. Well, really that was turn 2, but doesn't really matter. We will see here what happens as we get set on the grid, trying to warm up these tires. They're ice cold. I did not warm them up at all. Let's try and light them up now, but oh god, that is not good. Alright, here we go. For the Japanese Grand Prix, we got 5 red lights, and this race is underway. Verstappen looks like he jumped the start, to be honest, but not good as Norris goes to cover up Leclerc. Carlos Sainz coming up the left side here. We got a lot of traffic going to turn 2. Watch for contact on Verstappen. We're just able to etch out Carlos Sainz, keep that P4, but that is not good. I was trying to get an overtake, try and get the jump on Verstappen. And yeah, these tires are ice cold. We are sliding around quite a bit. So we're going to have to take it nice and easy and try and get those tires up to temperature. As, oh my god, as Verstappen, Leclerc, and Norris already running away with it. And Carlos Sainz is trying to get past us here. We can't hold on to Max Verstappen. He's got to left the throttles. He's got to take that inside line. And we are going to take the proper racing line through the final chicane here, just so we can block Carlos Sainz from trying to get past us. DRS will be activated this lap, though. He won't have it down this straight. And the leaders up front already getting ahead, which is a little bit scary. I'm not liking our pace so far in this opening lap. But we'll see here. The tires were a little bit cold. So now we're just trying to, you know, get the laps in here, get our pace up, see if we can catch up. Hopefully the drivers up front keep each other occupied and allow us to close in. Oh lord, he's got DRS now. There's nothing we could do. Oh, I do not like this at all. We might be screwed this race. So now we're battling with Carlos Sainz for this P4. Snap of oversteer. I like it where this race is headed. But since Carlos Sainz has overtaken us, We have been given the objective to overtake him by lap 10, which I think we can do. We've been keeping up with them, surprisingly. We're just waiting for the right moment to try and go for a move here, but I keep messing up out of the spoon corner. And yeah, we got to use it, drain the battery a little bit, see if we can close in, and then save enough battery to get a run on him through the DRS zone, down into turn 1. We get really good time out to chicane. Maybe not that time, but still pretty close. We got 3 more laps, so they're not a rush right now. Use a little bit of battery just to see if we can close in again, but keep ourselves close enough to not get caught in too much of his dirty air. See if we could just turn off the battery through sector 1. We can test that out, see how much time we lose there. Maybe it'll help us through these slower corners. We need really good throttle management. Just enough power to push yourself through the corner without spinning. And you want to avoid those curves as well. But through the S curve, still in decent shape. 0.8 of a second to Carlos Sainz. He is spacing us out a little bit. I don't even think that made sense, but I'm really just trying to focus here on closing in on Carlos Sainz. 88%. Okay, we're in good shape here with the battery, so turn that off. Give it one last charge. Oh no, we go wide. Crap. No, we just moved all our progress there, for frick's sake. So 9/10, we're still in DRS range though. I will take that. Oh crap, but I don't think we're gonna hit the objective here. I'm not sure if it's when we hit lap 10 or after lap 10. We'll find out here. We're gonna have to go for it here anyways. Let's see, lock up into the chicane. Ah, crap, he gets a better exit than us. We don't have enough battery. No, we didn't even get it. Okay, so let's just take our time here. We've got good pace, or decent pace. We're not in the front, obviously, but we are keeping up with Carlos Sainz in the dirty air. So we just gotta bide our time here. Be patient. Wait for a good time to overtake Carlos Sainz. Russell doesn't seem to be catching up, so that is a good sign. We don't have to worry about too much pressure coming from behind for now. Alright, so we're boxing this lap. We fell in behind Carlos Sainz. Not good. Our pace is not good this race. Lando's 7 seconds ahead, which is absolutely atrocious for us. And then Verstappen is 7.2, so I think they're right beside each other, to be honest. But we're sitting in P5, unfortunately. You know, last season I'd be saying what a great race we're having, but we're going for the World Championship here. And we need to be higher than this, but the tire's not treating me well. I'm not performing at the moment. And we're just trying to do our best here. Hopefully we get lucky with a safety car or something. It's the only way that our race is going to get saved here. Otherwise, we might be looking at a P5, possibly even lower, because George Russell has started closing in a little bit. But hopefully with the new set of hard tires, we will be able to push a little bit harder. The hard tires are pretty good in this game, so we won't have as much of an issue with tire wear as we've had on these medium tires. But we'll see here. Carlos Sainz 1.6 seconds ahead. Oh my god, we almost lost it again. Gonna drain the battery all the way down, get into the pits, get those hard tires on. I think, do we have preference over Lando, or did he pit already? I don't think Lando pit already. Otherwise, he's got a massive lead. I think I hit the pylon there. Whoopsies. And Sainz isn't going in. We're going in. Oh my god, that's not good. Oh, I thought we got a penalty there. Verstappen went in. I think someone... Who else went in? Leclerc, Verstappen. Not sure who else. 2.5 second pit stop. Back onto the track. Now, we got to keep an eye on Carlos Sainz. We're going to have a good lap here if we want to, you know, close the gap. We will have an advantage here on fresh tires. I'm coming out behind anyone. Doesn't look like it. We're going to get some open air here, which will help us push and get these tires up to temperature. Well, let's see what we can do here on the fresh set of hard tires. Oh, they feel much better. Although they are not fully up to temperature. Definitely more grip right now. They can catch up to Carlos Sainz. That is the question. Let's see here. We're approaching the pit lane. I see Carlos Sainz. I think he has dove in. And let's see if we can beat him out of the pits. As once again, we put across the chicane there. But FAI isn't going to say anything. We're going to drain the battery here. See if we can get out in front. I see Red car. Are we going to pass Carlos Sainz? Oh, look at that. We are going to get past Carlos Sainz. We're going to get the undercut done. So that one extra lap on the hard tires helps us out massively. And we get like a 1.6 second advantage over Carlos Sainz. And he's going to have to warm up those tires. So let's push here. We don't have too much battery. Yeah, Carlos Sainz already has caught up. That one lap he needs to warm up the tires. Not needed, and he retakes the spot from us. No! So Carlos Sainz going to retake the spot, but this time we're both on fresher tires. So I think we could have a little bit of a back and forth here, possibly. As I think we're a little bit quicker than him through Sector 1. As we seem to be right on his coattails. Let's see here what we could do with Carlos Sainz. Similar to Australia, very hard to keep the spot for us. After overtaking, and he brakes. Oh my god. But we've been given another chance here to try and overtake Carlos Sainz. This time, there's no lap constraint to it. It just says achieve a podium, or not podium, achieve a P4. So I think that means also that we have to actually finish in P4. So we can kind of take our time here, but the tires will start wearing out. And we're going to start losing performance. So we got to get this done quick somehow, but we're really just stuck behind Carlos Sainz, to be honest. There's nothing I could do to really get past him. We're just kind of waiting for him to make some sort of mistake, but he's driving very cleanly here. Hasn't locked up, hasn't slid around, just kind of, you know, car on train tracks sort of drive for Carlos Sainz. And we're suffering because of that, because we're also just sitting in his dirty air. We're 4.1 seconds ahead of George Russell, which is good. Don't have to worry about him catching up, so we should be looking at a P5 at least, but Lando's up in P3. However, not in P1. Oh, what? Oh, there was a lap limit to it. And unfortunately, we're not going to get that objective once again, so this is not going to be good for our recognition. I think that's what the, you know, in-race objectives affect, I'm pretty sure. So we're not able to get past Carlos Sainz after giving 2 chances, but we're really just stuck in the dirty air. Again, not making any mistakes on Carlos Sainz's end. But what I'm trying to do now is just charge up the battery through the first 2 sectors, save it all for Sector 3, and then down the main straight, which I guess is technically Sector 1, we just deploy it all and see how much we can close in. We seem to be getting a little bit closer, but I keep screwing up through the final chicane just like you saw there. And right now, not able to catch up to him, but by the time we get to the end here, we might actually close in. Yeah, you see, we got a little bit closer, but we just have to have a good exit out of that final corner to really get that move done. We're running out of time here. We got 2 laps left to go in this race. So can we get past Carlos Sainz? Oh my god. That was close. That was almost race done right there. But can we get past Carlos Sainz, who's just been holding us up, running this train? There's only 2 people because I'm the only one behind it. We're kind of our own little heat here in this race. Let's see. We're going to be at 90%, which is pretty good. It's the slow speed corners where I really struggle to get a good exit. Oh man, more wheel spin out of the hairpin. Not good for us, and now we're going to be out of DRS range here. Oh god, that might have just been the L right there. Oh, he's pretty slow through the spoon curve. I'd actually be able to get back into DRS range here. It's going to drain that battery. Thank God that we saved it through the first sector. So now we're just doing this to keep up. Stay in DRS range, and we will here. Just past the DRS marker. Let's see, we're going to be approaching the final lap here. I don't think we're going to get it done. I've never really been stuck so hard behind someone. It's just like impossible to get past. Impossible to even approach, to be honest. We're just too slow. I think Carlos Sainz is a lot quicker down the straights as well, because especially down the back straight, he just has way more speed than us, and we're even deploying the battery, so we might have opted for a slightly lower downforce setup to help him down the straights. But yeah, it's not looking good here. We run wide through the first turn. Oh, that is not good. Oh, okay, yeah, I think it's going to be a P5 here. Lando Norris, though. Oh god, I'm losing focus now. Lando Norris in P3. So he's not going to get the win, which will help us. I think he's going to pass us in the championship now. but that's good for us because he's not going to get as many points as I thought that he would. But yeah, not a great race for us. We lose out to Carlos Sainz in the first like 2 laps of this race, and then we've pretty much been behind him ever since. He did manage to overtake us after we overtook him with the undercut. But he just has lower downforce setup, I think. I think he's a little bit quicker down the straights. It just helps him defend, especially through turns 1 and the rest of the track. Oh man, this is a horrible last lap. We could possibly get overtaken here by George Russell. Oh my god, he's right there! And we're gonna be good. Whew.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Excuse me. Yeah, not a great race. But we're going to score 10 points in this one. Nonetheless, not great. But like I said, Lando Norris gets the fastest lap. So I think that's going to tie us for points. Yes, it is. We are tied for points at 35. Charles Leclerc, with that win, takes the lead of the championship with 40. And then I'm ahead of Lando simply because I've won a race. He hasn't won. He's taken P2 and P3 respectively in the last 2. And then of course we're still leading the Constructors Championship by 14 points. I think we extend our lead. Actually no, we don't extend our lead because Carlos Sainz finished in front of me in P4. And then Max Verstappen in P2. He's currently sitting 5 points behind us. So right now it's looking like a 4-horse race for the Drivers' Championship. Still a lot of racing to go. A lot of things can change. I'm sure Carlos Sainz might grab a win, and Verstappen, I'm sure he will grab a win as well before the end of the season. So anything could change, but although we're not in the best spot, and I didn't like that performance that I had in this race, still a lot of racing to go this season. But we do get a big hit on our focus as well, because I think we were supposed to be on the podium at least, but we finished in P5, so they were expecting me to finish in P2, and I'm assuming Lando in that case must have been P1. But we're still going to get a net gain on our overall rating, just approaching 83. Our contracted need to hit 84 by the end of the season, which I think we'll be able to do, but we can't keep having performances like that. And I think we gain a little bit of recognition as well with that performance. Just keeping up with Lando Norris, I think, is enough to gain the respect of the team. I did say last episode, before the start of the season, that there probably was going to be a few tracks that I would struggle at, and Japan seems to be one of those tracks. I thought I was pretty quick in time trials and in the practice sessions, but overall, we just didn't have the pace to keep up, got trapped in the dirty air. Anyways, on to the next one. Life goes on. We got Miami up next, which is also another track that I thought or called at the start that I might struggle at. So these next 2 races for us might be a little bit damaging to our championship run. However, that is going to be it for this one, guys. If you watched up to this point, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you guys know when the next episode is out. Like I said, we got a lot of racing left, so anything can happen. Very early days in this season. But yeah, again, guys, thank you so much for watching. And until then, I will catch you in the next one. Have a great day, everyone.